Welcome everybody for tonight's webinar, and thank you so much for joining me on Australia Day. That's incredible dedication for those of you who are already in the business, and really says a lot about you if you're here for the first time exploring opportunities for you to be able to change your life in 2015. My name is Tracy Seacombe. I'm a physiotherapist and I'm married with 3 children, and I've run my own physiotherapy company for the last 18 years. I was very fortunate to be introduced to the Jeunesse opportunity 3 years ago, and in that time I really have experienced such an incredible journey, not only through growing residual income, which has allowed me to spend more time with my family, but also being part of something really, really special, a team of people who are dedicated to changing their own lives, changing the lives of their family, but also helping others to do the same. And it really is an incredible team to belong to, and I enjoy absolutely every minute of it. So it really is a great pleasure for me to have the opportunity tonight to share this opportunity with you and to see whether this is something that might interest you. So what I'm going to be talking about for the next 45 minutes or so is what's going on in terms of business. What are the facts out there and what are the trends? When you're thinking about starting your own business, you really want to make sure that you're ahead of the trends rather than on the tail end of something old. You know, as technology increases in this world, things change more quickly. And if you continue to do business the same way that you did it 20 years ago, you're really going to be left behind. So it's important for you to understand what these facts and trends are and make sure that you tap into them, whatever business it is that you start up. I'm going to explain to you about our company. There are some very unique things about this company and some important facts that you need to consider when you're doing any sort of due diligence before you make a decision. Then I'll talk about the products. We have very, very exclusive, one-of-a-kind products, and I'll explain why and how. And then, of course, our Jeunesse home business opportunity. This is really something that anybody can do, and you can do it in a way that suits you and fits in with your lifestyle. So let's have a look at today's facts. Some of you may be able to relate to this personally, or certainly you're going to know people who are in this situation. There are many people out there who are living from paycheck to paycheck. They are waiting for that next paycheck to come in before they can afford not just some special items, but even necessities. There are a lot of people that are in this situation, which makes it tough. Then there's the group who may have a larger income than that, but they're caught up in the rat race. And I like to use the analogy of a treadmill. It's like the treadmill's on and you can't switch it off, and you just can't get off that treadmill. And this is an example where not only have you got good income, but your expenses match that income. So you're in a position now where the only way you can get ahead is to work longer hours or to get a better job. And this can just really get out of control when people continue to buy, continue to have expenses that increase and really give them that demand where there's no way out. Retail business is hurting, and you can see this globally. There is a great shift in the way that business is done, and a lot of that is towards things being done online. It's really important to pull your head out of the sand and notice these changes and think, how can I adapt what I'm doing so that I can keep up with these trends and still be in front of them? Just imagine for a moment if life could be different for you. Have you got a plan B? If your income was to stop tomorrow for whatever reason, how long would your savings last? You know, I think it's really important for everybody to consider their future. It's wonderful to have things now, and it's really important to enjoy this moment, but you need to be smart about things as well and plan for your family and for your future. Do you want to keep doing now what you're doing when you're 65, when you're 70. For me, as a physiotherapist, I am blessed. I am in an incredible profession and I have absolutely loved my career for the past 25 years, but I don't want to be a physiotherapist in 10 years' time. I love what I do, but I don't want to do it forever. And there are a lot of people in all sorts of professions that feel the same way. And even if you do, would you like to have the flexibility of being able to take time off whenever you want? After running a traditional business myself for many years, what I know about small business owners is that it's very difficult to get away and take a holiday because you are the business and it depends on you. So if you're open to new ways of generating residual income that allows you more choices, then please listen in to what I have to say tonight. This is something that I knew nothing about 3 years ago, and my eyes have really been open to what's going on behind closed residential doors. You know, there are more home businesses than you probably realise. Even based on these statistics in 2012, 1 out of every 8 homes in Australia operates a home-based business. Now, this trend is going to grow exponentially. We're expecting more growth in the next 10 years than there has been in the last 50 years. So it really is a growing trend. And there's lots of reasons for that. The first one, of course, is technology. This business has become a whole lot easier. So technology allows us to connect with people all over the world with the flick of a button. So using our smartphones, we can run this entire business. I'll talk more about some of the great tools that we have, but I can send a video to somebody on the other side of the world instantly about this business opportunity, and they can come back straight to me and let me know that they'd like to join this business. This, of course, wasn't possible without this new technology. The economy. There's 2 different ways that you can look at these facts and trends that we've been talking about with regards to the economy. When things get tougher, people become more resourceful. They have to start to think outside of the box and consider, okay, if my job isn't as safe as I always thought it was, what are some other options for me? How can I add more streams of income without taking on another job? That's what people did in the past. They worked 2 jobs, you know, and all you're doing is trading time for money, and in the end that time runs out because it's finite. We all have the same number of hours per day. But what if you were to leverage your time and create residual income? Then you need to look at the baby boomers. They have set the market trends ever since they were born. When they were born, there was a huge boom in everything to do with babies, from baby food to nappies to everything involved in looking after babies, then children, then teenagers. Now, of course, if you have a look at the age of baby boomers, they're either retiring or set to retire in the near future, or they're wanting to at least cut back on their hours. And what does that take? It takes residual income. But if you're going to enjoy your retirement and enjoy cutting back on your hours, you're going to want health. So youthful aging and residual income are the 2 main focuses of this group. Then we have a look at Generation X and Generation Y. Now, I fall into the category of Generation X, and prior to taking on Jeunesse, I fit into that very, very common scenario of both mum and dad out working. So you have these kids and you want to provide for them, but you also want to be there with them, spending time with them, watching them grow up. But we're so busy out working hard, paying the bills, that we just have less and less time that we can spend with our family. So that's a big why for the Generation X, is looking for ways to spend more time with their growing family. Then, of course, you've got Generation Y. A lot of them are at university, just coming out of university, and not necessarily being able to get a job in their chosen career. So they're open to new ideas as well. And they're a lot more savvy than perhaps Gen X with technology. So this is a no-brainer for them. They get it really quickly and they understand how important it is to look after their health. There's an enormous shift. I look at teenagers and the way they eat now in comparison to when I was a teenager. We had no idea that that metabolism that we had in our teens was not going to last forever. And number 5 is the rising middle class of Asia. there is this enormous number of people who are rising up. They have more freedom and they have more money to spend. They want exactly the same things as we do. They want time, freedom, residual income, and they want to look and feel younger. It's fascinating to have a look at the total global sales for 2012 in these different industries. Something like the movie industry, as you expected, was $80 billion. What I wouldn't have expected is that the network marketing in the same year was $167 billion. So enormous amounts of money are changed hands through this industry because it's a growing trend, because people are becoming more and more interested in this business model and they're really starting to understand it. So what do business experts have to say about this model? Well, let's have a look at the analysis of the way this growth is occurring as well and compare it with one of the toughest times we've experienced since I've been alive. So if you look at the share market prices between March 2009 and May 2011, you'll see that the top 7 publicly traded direct selling companies averaged a 268% increase in their stock price. Now, I don't know about you, but at the time my superannuation was tied up in shares and all of them went down in that period of time, and a lot of people experienced that, and it's why a lot of people are still working now that would have otherwise retired. Look at some more experts and their opinions. Bill Gates says that if he was given the chance to start all over again, he would choose network marketing. Donald Trump and Richard Branson have both bought their own network marketing companies. And Warren Buffett, one of the most influential men as far as investing goes, says that cash on cash return, it's been the best investment he has ever made. So let's compare this business model with traditional business. So, for example, in my traditional business, I employed people and I always had a choice, and this was really what kept me in the rat race as well. I could go out and consult myself and earn 100% of that hourly rate, or I could send somebody out and pay them a fair rate for their time, plus all the expenses involved with sending them out, and I would end up with approximately a quarter of what I could get if I went out and did it myself. So I did both. I went out and did it myself, sent out people to do it for me, got 25% on each of them. But as you know, the more people you employ, the more you have to expand, the greater the expenses. But even if I was to work 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, which of course, is impossible over a long term, I could really only get back 168 hours a week on working personally. But if you have a look at this real live example of Angela Nascenti, with Jeunesse, she enrolled 50 people into her business in 1.5 years. That turned into 4,000 people because they spoke to people who spoke to other people, etc., over 20 countries. So even if she just got them to engage for 1 hour per week, Angela gets paid on 4,000 hours of work every week. So again, if you're looking at starting a business, you want to see how big your market is, and are you on the tail end of a trend or are you at the start of a trend? For example, scrapbooking. Some of you may remember scrapbooking, and it was enormous for a while. I did a course with a guy called Brett McFall who was all about making money online and creating ebooks. He made a fortune out of hearing about scrapbooking way before it took off, got somebody to write an ebook about it and sold it online, made lots and lots of money. But he was ahead of the trend. The biggest trend to occur in the future of the next 10 years is the global anti-aging market. We're at the beginning of this trend. You know that it's big now, but it's only going to get bigger, set to hit the $1 trillion in sales globally by 2025. So how can you capitalise on these global trends? Well, we have something that nobody else has, including a very incredible company. Now, one of the things that I really love about this company is that it's a family company. And why is that important? Well, if you are going to go down the track of investing in property, which we do as well, you're going to invest your money in property, and you're going to research the property market and make sure that you're buying a house that's going to increase in value. With this type of business, you're going to invest your time. If you're going to invest your time, you want to make sure you're investing in a company that is rock solid, that's doing well, that's growing, sales and profits increasing, and it's going to be around for a long time in the future. Now, to be able to do that, there's a few checks and balances that you want to research and make sure that you tick off all of those boxes. The first one is the fact that it is debt-free and profitable. So the story behind this particular company is that a couple were retired, came out of retirement to start this company and had plenty of money behind them and didn't have to borrow any of it. If you have large loans, everything can go haywire. You can end up, in big trouble and not being able to pay back loans. If you have a lot of shareholders to answer to, you can also have that problem of always talking about company profit more so than compensation or commissions to the distributors. So what we have here is the perfect combination: debt-free, profitable, and a family company that wants to be around for years and years to come. This is a ground floor opportunity. The company has only been around for 5 years, starting up in September 2009, and it has continued to grow exponentially in those 5 years. So not only are we dealing with a young company, we're dealing with a very, very successful company, so much so that it shot to number 46 in the top global 100 of the Direct Selling Association. So that's the first box that you want to tick. If you're going to look at any company, you definitely want to make sure that they belong to the Direct Selling Association, because this is the same as me having to belong to the Physiotherapy Association. This makes sure that I am an ethical business person, just like you want to make sure the company that you're working with is one that's going to be around for a long time. Jumping to number 46 has broken all records in such a short period of time, and we keep shooting up the charts and winning more and more awards. So as you can see here, we are the third fastest growing company in the world the last 2 years running. The latest word is that we're the fastest, and those results will be released very, very shortly. We won the Rising Star Award, which is because we are growing so quickly in such a short period of time. Part of the reason that we jumped to number 46 in the top 100 so quickly. And we are the quickest company ever to grow to $250 million in sales. If we keep up growing at the rate that we are at the moment, we are set to hit $1 billion company in under 10 years. That will be the first company to ever achieve that result in the past 100 years, or the amount of time that direct selling companies have actually been around. So these are our wonderful founders of the business, Randy Ray and Wendy Lewis. As you can see here from this slide, they have an incredible business track record behind them before they even started Jeunesse. They really are wonderful, heart-centered people. I've had the pleasure to meet both of them on many occasions now. They've really started this business for all the right reasons. It's not for the money. They didn't need the money. They achieved that very young in their own lives anyway through hard work and determination. But instead, this is about creating an opportunity for other people. Randy has a true rags to riches story. He started off with a family where there were times that he didn't eat at all, rarely had shoes, that sort of thing, and he never ever wanted to experience that again. And he also wants to give somebody an opportunity that doesn't have the backing that he had in terms of his education. So anybody can do this business. It's a very simple system, and there is so much support. It's a team effort, and that's one of the things that I love about it so much. So you have the best of both worlds. You're independent because it's your business, so you work on your own terms, but you have this incredible corporate and team support. So why are we taking the world by storm, and what is everybody talking about? We are the only company in the world that has the first ever adult-derived stem cell cosmetic line in the world today. So imagine that. Imagine having a product range that nobody else has. So I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Nathan Newman, and this is where the company's story starts. Randy Ray needed to have surgery performed on his knee. Now, as a physiotherapist, I'm very familiar with this. A lot of people wear out the soft tissue in their knee, and it can happen gradually or it can happen through some sort of trauma or accident. But what happens is the wear and tear means that you end up almost bone on bone in the knee, and it becomes very painful and very difficult to walk. Up until the evolution of stem cell technology, we were really dealing with arthroscopies. So it's just a clean up, it's getting rid of the little bits of junk and broken off material that are sitting in there so that you can move your knee better and start to walk better. Really not a terribly great result. So what Randy did was have his own stem cells injected into his knee so that he could grow back brand new tissue. And of course he had an amazing result. You're going to know more and more people that start to have these treatments. This was delivered by Dr. Nathan Newman. They got chatting, and he also told Randy about a product range that he had also developed. And that's the Luminous range. So this is how the business partnership started. So what he was able to do is, through one of his services of liposuction to his clients, he asked them to give permission to donate their fat cells. What he discovered is that the most prolific area of adult stem cells is actually found in the fat around the belly button. So he would take this fat through liposuction, he would take from the fat the stem cell, and then test the stem cell to make sure that it's healthy. The adult stem cell, which is our repair mechanism in our body, then went into a petri dish where it does what it always does to repair, and that is to multiply. Now, as the stem cells multiply, they excrete what's called a growth factor. The growth factor is the chemical language of our cells. So all of our systems in our bodies rely on growth factors to communicate to the different cells exactly what processes need to happen so that we can maintain healthy functioning. So the Luminous range has over 200 growth factors in relation to maintaining healthy skin cells. So the cornerstone of the range is the Cellular Rejuvenation Serum. This has 85% active ingredient in it, which is the growth factor complex derived from the human adult stem cells. So there are no stem cells in the product, it's the growth factors that do the magic. So on a clean face, you apply just one pump of the serum to the skin on your face. What it does is penetrates the dermis, communicates with your cells and finds out exactly where the damage is. It targets that damage while communicating with all of your growth factors and stimulating your stem cells to repair the damaged skin cells, growing back new proteins, collagen, elastin, all of the processes that you need to grow back brand new healthy skin cells. So as you'll see when I show you the before and afters, there are absolutely incredible results because we're dealing with such a strong active serum. The range is small and the whole process and system is very simple, which I love. So you start with the cleanser. So the Youth Restoring Cleanser is extremely special because not only is it going to clean the surface dirt off your skin and take off the makeup, it's also going to penetrate to the cellular level and detox the cells. Now, if you haven't used a cleanser like this before, you may go through a detox phase to begin with. This can be anything from a breakout of some pimples, getting rid of the dirt, to even some of those old skin cells being expelled. So you persevere through that phase, make sure that you're using it sparingly and rinsing really well to much more youthful, glowing skin. The other thing that the cleanser does is it exfoliates. It's a very gentle exfoliator, so you're not going to feel any harsh scrubbing. It actually lathers up and feels really soft on the skin, but it will take off those dead skin cells so that the new skin cells that are coming through have that beautiful glow again. So you cleanse the skin, then you add the serum to the clean skin, and then you lock it in and protect it with a moisturiser. During the day, you use the daily moisturising complex, and at night, you use the advanced night repair. Now, the Daily Moisturising Complex has a 30 SPF in it. So not only does it have the growth factor complex in it, it's a beautiful, deeply long-lasting moisturiser that feels very light on the skin. It penetrates the skin, so therefore it doesn't feel greasy and it doesn't drip off the skin, and it really allows the makeup to go on really nicely, but it has that most important 30 SPF so that you're protected from further damage from the sun. The night repair is used at night time. This also has the growth factor complex plus a DNA repair. So while you're sleeping, which is when all of our repair processes are happening, you're getting this beautiful repair at the cellular level, waking up refreshed with glowing, line-free skin. We also have an essential body renewal so that you can apply it to the skin all over the body. It also has the growth factor complex, so it's much more than a moisturiser. It seeps in really quickly so you can get dressed straight away and you don't feel like you're oily or greasy on the skin. And it's going to have those lifting properties, so fabulous for, stretch marks or anywhere that the skin has started to sag on the body. Then, of course, we have the Ultimate Lifting Mask. Now, this is an incredible product. You apply the mask all over your face and you let it sit for 20 to 30 minutes. It basically hardens on your face so that your skin is all tight and you can't really move your face. As you peel the mask off, you'll find that it removes blemishes instantly, it reduces the lines instantly, and your skin will feel very, very soft and very moisturized for days afterwards. So it's a fantastic mask to use, before an event, before you go out. And I recently saw on the weekend on Facebook a lovely, beautiful girl who was getting married, and she'd used the mask the day of her wedding. So a beautiful product as well. This is an exciting product that is not currently available in Australia. It is available in the US, and it has basically caused a complete storm because people are so impressed with this product. If you haven't seen it already, ask the person who invited you onto the webinar tonight to see an on-stage demonstration of this being used. This was released in Macau in September last year. Basically, you apply the Instantly Ageless to any area that you have lines or puffiness or dark circles, for example, under the eyes. And as it dries, within 2 minutes, that dark circle, that puffiness, those lines disappear right before your eyes. So leaving you with a flawless finish. Again, a wonderful product to use just before you apply your makeup, before you go out, and it lasts for 9 hours. So the before and afters and the videos really speak for themselves with this product. So we've had clinical trials done by an independent company based in Texas. This is the same company that does all the testing on all of the large, big names that you're all very aware of. And it's not just through looking at the skin through the eye. It's through scanning the skin so that they're actually getting to the cellular level to see what's happening to the skin below the dermis. So what's measured in this testing is spots, pores, wrinkles and texture. And you can compare between these two graphs that this particular woman started with texture at the 34th percentile. She's ended up with the high 80s, and as you can see, the high 90s for spots, pores and wrinkles. So incredible results in just 60 days. You're going to see this and feel this yourself, but it's fantastic to have this backed up by these clinical trials. And this particular company, who tests all of these other brand names that are so famous around the world, said that these were the most incredible results that they'd ever seen in all their years of testing. So let's have a look at some before and afters. This really demonstrates to you that it just doesn't matter how old you are and what skin type you have. You can see by all of these photographs that it's plumping out the skin. As you grow back new collagen, it's getting rid of those deep lines. Here is an awful case of very cystic acne, completely cleared up through using the Luminous range. Often people choose to test it on one hand and not the other so that they can really see for themselves the big change in one side compared to the other. all sorts of skin conditions have had incredible results. The science is about repair, so whatever the damage is and happening at that cellular level, this is going to repair that damage, particularly if combined with the nutritional range for real problem skin. This is one of my favourites. I know this gentleman, he had terrible scarring in relation to teenage acne right into his adult years, and nothing had ever worked before he found the Luminesse range. And of course, this is just an incredible result that this lady has had. Absolutely amazing. She was with another company for many years selling skincare, and as you can imagine, she's left that company now and is selling the Luminesse range based on her own personal testimonial. So in Australia, you're going to start to pick up all of the well-known magazines and see editorials about Jeunesse and the Luminesse range. We do not do any paid advertising. We don't need to. It's all word of mouth, and it's all people trying the products and raving about the products. So of course, we don't just age from the outside in. Our aging is occurring at a cellular level, both skin cells and the rest of the organ cells in our body. The skin, of course, just happens to be the largest organ of the body. Dr. Giampapa has received a nomination for the 2014 Nobel Prize for his stem cell research, and he is the man behind our AMPM. I absolutely love the AMPM, and I know lots of other people who do as well. This is so much more than a multivitamin, but it has enabled me to throw out all of the different bottles and potions that I did have in my cupboard prior to starting on the AMPM. So it's going to cover all of your essential vitamins, minerals, probiotics, and omega-3s, but it's much, much more than that. What you're going to find in the AMPM is something that's important in terms of longevity, and you might be aware of this. The one proven way to extend your life, and I don't mean to end up really, really old and very unwell, but longevity, so feeling youthful, you know, being able to think clearly and have lots of vitality and great health well into, you know, the later years of life, is to reduce your calorie intake. Now, what they've discovered is there are components of plants, so all natural based, that actually mimic this calorie reduction. So AMPM gives you that. It also gives you stem cell pool maintenance. Obviously, if we need our stem cells to repair damaged cells, we need to maintain the number of healthy stem cells we have so that we can maintain that repair process we had as children and young youth. It also is repairing DNA. So this is so important to look after our genes, which we found is really the start of all of the aging diseases, is problems and damage to our genetics. And of course, maintaining the length of the caps on the end of our chromosomes called telomeres, which I'll tell you more about when we get to one of our later products. The next product is called Reserve. Now, this is an incredibly exciting product too. The Reserve has resveratrol in it, and you may have heard about it's good for you to have a glass of red wine. Now, the reason they say that is because there are traces of resveratrol in red wine, because you can find resveratrol in the red grape. Resveratrol switches on our anti-aging genes. To get the dose of resveratrol you need each day to do this, you would need to drink about 100 bottles of red wine. Instead, you can take one of these serves of Reserve. You can see two serves in this picture. So it's one sachet. You rip the top off and drink it down. It's really important that it's packaged this way because it's a powerful antioxidant. And if you take the lid off of a large bottle of an antioxidant, it's going to oxidize. So you need to be able to consume the full dose right then and there before it oxidizes. So the Reserve is a fabulous product because it's captured resveratrol in the way nature intended. The ingredients are superfood juices. So your pomegranate, grape juice, mulberry juice, all of those ways of getting resveratrol so that it's proven through CAPI testing to penetrate the cell membrane and actually get to your genes so that they can switch on those anti-aging genes. So as a result, you're going to get improved cardiovascular health, improved digestion, balancing your inflammation, so fantastic for arthritic aches and pains. But of course, all aging diseases can be traced back to imbalanced inflammation within our system. So important to balance that. It's a great energy booster, fantastic to replace any of those chemical or sugar-based energy type products that you might be taking as an athlete. So a really incredible product. You can take 1 or 2 per day. The next product is VitaCell, and again it's fitting into our genre of anti-aging and delaying the aging process. This is a powder that you mix through with water or milk or a smoothie, and it's a fantastic booster for energy. So really good for people who are suffering from fatigue. It's based from the very healthy strains of brown rice. So there's no white rice in this, but it's going to give you that energy that you need and increase your ability for the hormones that you need to produce to balance, again, all of the systems to create a healthy, youthful longevity, and also improving your liver function, gastrointestinal tract, and your athletic performance. Another product that has not landed on our shores here in Australia yet, but is very exciting and is available in the US. This is not just another weight loss product, and that's really important to me. I, for years, have said to people, don't do something temporarily. You know, don't go off and go on a diet that means that you're going to temporarily change things and then go back to your old habits. What I love about Zen is they've really discovered the reason that people can struggle to lose weight. You know, there's always those people that have naturally a great metabolism, they never seem to gain weight, and then those people that find it much harder. So this is really targeting those issues. So it's a very holistic approach, and it's combined with your healthy eating. So even with people who have not made changes to the way they're eating, there are incredible testimonials that you can find out there. But Zen is going to promote metabolic wellness. So again, making sure that we're fitting into that genre of treating at the cellular level and making sure we're getting to the cause of the problem. Promotes fat loss, helps decrease carbohydrate and sugar cravings, and control appetite and hunger, and it supports healthy blood sugar levels and cholesterol levels. And finally, when you think that's all amazing, we actually have a product here that can not only slow down the aging process, but actually reverse it. Now, I was there in the room in Vegas when they announced this product, and the doctors were explaining the science, and I just was completely blown away. So there is a plant component called TA65, so all natural. It's been discovered and it's been proven that it can lengthen short telomeres. So what is a telomere? A telomere is the cap that sits on the end of your chromosome. So the chromosome is part of your DNA. We need to protect that to prevent aging diseases. The telomere is the protection, but over time it gradually gets shorter and shorter until it eventually breaks off altogether, and therefore the chromosome starts to fray and the cell dies. Or it sits there in senescence, letting off toxins and damaging all the tissue around it. So we want to protect that telomere length. Now, Finity actually lengthens telomeres that have also already become shortened. So you know how we have all these tests now where you can find out your actual biological age. So rather than just the number of candles on your cake or the number of years you've been here, you can actually find out through different tests of, you know, how much fat you have, you know, your VO2 max, how fit you are, all of those sorts of things. There is now a test where you can have the length of your telomeres measured. So the results that people that are getting from Finity are incredible. We have people in their late 60s who no longer need to use their reading glasses. Increased immunity, increased bone density, increased virility as well as vitality. So an incredible product. A lady told me just the other day that she has so much better memory and so much better focus since she's been taking the Finity, and she's in her 70s. So very exciting product. So we have incredible testimonials. Some of you may recognise Wayne Carey here. He says that it's the best he's ever felt, including when he was playing footy. So he obviously gets offered all sorts of products out there that are on the market, and these are the ones that he is sticking with. He's having such great results. So this is a system. This is the youth enhancement system that goes through very important phases in terms of looking after our wellness and preventing and even reversing the aging process. First of all, both on the outside in and the inside out, we need to cleanse. We need to cleanse toxins and detox, get rid of them. Then we need to repair the damage that's already occurred, and then we need to protect ourselves from further damage. So this product range is providing all of those things. So if you haven't already tried these products and you'd like to know how you can get your hands on them, you have a choice. The first way is to go back to the person who invited you onto the webinar tonight, ask them for their link to their website, and you can go shopping. You can go shopping online just like you might already and buy those products at retail price. Or you can buy the products at wholesale price. So for $32.95 here in Australia, you can get a replicated website of your own and you can go shopping at wholesale prices. Now you might also be interested in knowing how you can earn income while you're using these incredible products, because that's all it is. We use products that we love and we tell other people that we're using products that we love. So it's just like when you go to a movie that you love and you tell your friends and they go to the movie. It's just like if you find a great mascara that doesn't smudge and it looks really good and you tell your friends about it. But this time you're actually going to be rewarded for it. So there are 6 different ways that you can earn income with Jeunesse. And the first one is something that we're all really familiar with. Before I explain that to you, I'll just give you an idea of how big you can start to dream. Some of you on the call might be interested in earning an extra couple of $100 a week. There is something here for you. It's for everybody, no matter how small or big your goals are. But Kim Wee, who's the person in the middle and the top row, is earning $8 million residual income from this business every year. There are more than 30 million millionaires now. That was in the first 4 years. So that, of course, has grown to much more than that. Over 40 people are diamonds in this business now. To give you an idea of the money you can expect to earn as you work your way through the ranks, when you get to Ruby, the minimum amount you can earn per month is $10,000 per month. Emerald is $25,000 a month, and Diamond is a minimum of $50,000 per month. I personally know a Diamond who is earning $2 million annualized income per year. So, as I said, we all understand retail profit. So if you send someone to your website and they go shopping at retail prices, you're going to get the difference between the retail price and the wholesale price delivered straight into your back office, where you can transfer it into your bank account. The second way that you can earn income is by introducing people to try the product at wholesale. So, for example, you may have a friend who wants to try the products. They realize that they're going to save so much money if they buy a package of products. So rather than just getting a discount and buying them at wholesale, they're going to package them up and get an even further discount. And when they choose their package, you're then getting the commission acquisition bonus that goes with that package. Now, for those people who are just interested in trying out the products, they can start, for example, with a basic package, and you're going to receive a bonus of $25. The package to come in on, if you're interested in the business and you want to get started and start earning those commissions, is the ambassador package. Now, the person who introduces you will receive $250, just as you will when you introduce people who are interested in the business on the ambassador package. But there are great advantages coming on this level. When you buy the ambassadors package, you are going to be considered the rank of Sapphire and earn at the rank of Sapphire for 6 months. This means that you'll get a matching bonus on 3 levels for that 6-month period. In the meantime, you're going to work your way up to Sapphire anyway. You're also going to have great value with lots of products, so that when you're talking to people, you can have the product with you and show it to people and let them feel it and try it. So that's really the business package to come in on. The third way that you use income is the start of the residual income. So this is the income that's going to gradually grow, just like when you buy a property, it's going to gradually grow in value. So as you introduce people into your team, every time they go shopping, whether it's retail shopping or wholesale shopping, there are always points attached to the products. Every time someone shops, no matter how many levels down they are from you, so levels to infinity, they could be 10,000 levels below you, they shop, their points come up to you. So this gradually grows over time. Every time you get 600 points in one leg or team, you could call it, 300 points in the other, you cycle that into a $35 team commission. So this part of the compensation plan goes up to 750 team commissions per week. Now, if you're getting 1,000 team commissions per week, you don't miss out on those other 250. They're going to go into your pay the following week. But just that part alone, that part of the payment is up to $26,250 US. But if you've done the sums already, you'll know by Kim Wee, who's earning $8 million a year, there is a lot of other residual income coming from somewhere else. So one part of it is that. The next part of it is her matching bonus. Now, the levels of matching bonus increases all the way to 7 levels depending on what rank you're at. So when you get involved and buy a package, you're automatically a distributor. Even if you don't want to do the business, you're called a distributor and you don't have to do the business just because you've bought a package. So you can start doing the business at any time if you want to. Once you're a distributor, you can start to accumulate these points. Once you're an executive, which means you've enrolled just 2 people, 1 on each side, you can now turn those points into dollars through those team commissions. Once you're a Jade Executive, you start to get a matching bonus on level 1. Jade Executive means that you've introduced 8 distributors into your business, and so on. You can see here that all of our ranks go all the way to Crown Diamond, and those new levels were introduced just recently because we had so many people reaching Diamond, Double Diamond and Triple Diamond that the company wanted to keep giving incentives for people to continue to grow. As you can see, once you hit Crown Diamond, apart from all of the other streams of income that you get a one-time bonus of $1 million. So this explains matching bonus. For example, your level 1 are the people that you have introduced personally into the business. You get a matching bonus of 20%. So every time they get $35 team commission, you get $7. And you can see there 15% on level 2, 10% on level 3, etc. Now you can actually increase that matching bonus on level 1 by having more customers in your business, either retail, preferred customers or wholesale. If you have 10 customers in your business, then you've increased that matching bonus of level 1 to 30%. And the final way that you can earn income is once you become a diamond, you are sharing in 3% of the company's CV. So there are about 40 diamonds sharing in that at the moment, and their share depends on the volume of sales in their business. So there are wonderful stories throughout the country from different types of people having incredible results. Angela, I mentioned before, she's an emerald in the business already. She's done that in under 2 years. Taylor Daly is only 21. She actually has put her uni degree on hold because she's earning so much money from this business, and she's really starting to enjoy the lifestyle that that's affording to her, so she can go back to her degree later if she wants to. There are lots of ex-football players and people that have had incredible careers in sports in the past. They have found that this is the best way to keep up that lifestyle so that they have time freedom as well as income. Many, many other great stories. Lyndon Biernoff, of course, who is one of the people who brought this company to Australia, along with Aaron and Craig. Incredible income story, has 80,000 people in his organisation, and a wonderful mentor, really there to help us all, and he's an incredible person. So the business is open in over 100 countries. If you compare this with traditional business, it's just incredible to think about how many people you can talk to about this business. business. Personally, I've enrolled 84 people into the business over the last 3 years. That's turned into 3,800 people for me in 38 countries. Now, probably a handful of those people in all of those countries I have personally enrolled. Mostly my business has expanded to so many countries through other people in my team. So I'm doing business in all of these countries, and it's just a really exciting business to be a part of. We have amazing tools that make it so easy for us to share this information. Anybody can do this. If you can learn how to press a button on your phone, you can do this business. You are literally sharing a link. You can send a video as an SMS, as an email, with your phone or from your laptop anywhere in the world, and straight away somebody is learning about this opportunity and you can follow them up and see if they're interested. We have incredible support and leadership. There is this brilliant culture in this business that starts from the top, and that is to care and nurture from everybody. We are one team, one family, one Jeunesse, and that means that I can actually contact somebody on the other side of the world and say, I've enrolled somebody in your part of the world, they're not even in my team, and they take them under their wing. You know, there's that incredible culture and support where there's leadership, everybody is helping each other. We want to see you succeed. You don't need to be able to explain the information. You purely are inviting people to hear the information through these webinars, through the live events, through three-way phone calls, getting them in front of somebody who already is successful in the business and can explain how the business works. If you love to travel, there are amazing travel opportunities. I have won my way to Dubai this year, so I'll be heading off there in May. We have an incredible Noosa Sapphire retreat for Sapphires and above at the end of March. You can work your way and get that trip for free as well. Just really, really incredible holidays and business and conference meetings, and you'll see here that it's a really, really fun team to work with. We also give back to the community. Jeunesse Kids has partnered with Free the Children on a project called Adopt a Village. I love this model because it's built on the belief that every community has the potential to lift itself out of poverty forever. So it's not a charity, it's actually a sustainability. It's freedom in action, and it's really encouraging a community to free themselves of poverty, exploitation, disease and thirst. So really, Jeunesse has it all. It has products everyone needs. It's a global opportunity, your answer to this economy, and a way to help yourself, your family and others. So Jeunesse really has it all. So please go back to the person who's invited you on this webinar and find out how you can start trying these products today. And thank you so much for joining me this evening on Australia Day.